Okay, so it really could have been just as simple as this. Guys, I wanted to bring something that's a little bit heavier to my platform, and I wanted to talk about the importance of informed consent. For the last year, I've been seeing this particular creator, and for, again, a year we have been friends, but 6 months out of that time was spent romantically. We talked, regularly via text, on the phone. I'd already gone to see him once and was making plans to see him again. And prior to my second visit, he called me and asked my feelings on polyamory. When I told him that I was only interested in monogamy, he didn't say anything further about the conversation. I told him that we could talk about it upon my arrival. Prior to getting there again, there was no more conversation on the matter, so I was under the impression that we were still on the same page about our relationship staying monogamous. I get out there, and we do engage in unprotected sex, and that's because I felt like I could trust him. I was trusting him with all of my deepest, darkest secrets, so I didn't feel like I couldn't trust this man with my body. Less than 24 hours later, I come to the realization that he is on a date with another person because of a TikTok that he posted. Now, after this incident, I felt incredibly hurt and I felt violated because if I had known that he was still dating other people, I never would have shared my body with him unprotected. And it is so important as women to, at the end of the day, always choose to protect ourselves regardless of what men say, because we're the only person who is really, truly, invested in our own overall personal well-being. I'm bringing this to TikTok because I do believe, because of the type of platform he has, that he does need to be held accountable for his actions. End scene. Notice there was no music. There was no crying. And I know a lot of people were saying, oh, well, why are we tone policing victims, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is going to make people not want to come out because they're afraid of not being able to do it right. This is the problem. Your average person does not have a following of over 1 million people. So there is more weight in how she goes about doing literally anything. And the reason that so many other POCs are really upset about the way that this was handled right now is even if she didn't have a huge platform, her crying and throwing around this type of language around the situation and around him can still get him killed, even if no one knew who he was. And she knows that. And she knows that. The sad music, the crying, the lighting, the inflammatory word choice, throwing around the idea that, she might have an STD or that she could even potentially be pregnant. Those things are very inflammatory. And I'm not saying that, again, if the reality of the situation, they had unprotected sex, that is 100% valid, that could happen. But girl, like, that's stuff that you talk about outside of the app. Address it publicly, but those other things needed to be handled just between the two of you. It's dangerous.